Defining the garden beds, a border of repurposed tool handles adds rustic charm to the space. The once well-worn grips of hammers, shovels, and rakes now stand proudly in the soil, forming a protective barrier around delicate flowers. The varying heights and colors of the wooden handles create an eclectic pattern, a testament to the tool's many years of service. Over time, the wood weathers, deepening in character and blending naturally with the earthy tones of the garden. Flowers lean against them like old friends, vines winding up their surfaces in a slow embrace. An old bicycle, once a vehicle for adventure, now finds a second life in the garden. With baskets brimming with cascading petunias and ivy threading through its spokes, the bicycle transforms into a whimsical planter display. Over time, the metal frame takes on a charming patina, blending seamlessly with the natural surroundings. The wheels, now stationary, become part of the landscape, a silent witness to seasons changing. A gentle breeze rustles the flowers, making them dance as if the bicycle is still in motion. The scent of blooming lavender drifts through the air, inviting butterflies to rest on the handlebars. Nearby, an enchanting Teapot Waterfall trickles melodically, creating a sense of peace in the garden. A collection of vintage teapots and cups, mounted strategically, allows water to cascade from one vessel to another. The sunlight catches the gentle stream, making the droplets glisten as they tumble down. Birds stop by for a sip, their delicate wings fluttering as they enjoy the cool refreshment. The soft gurgle of water blends with the rustling leaves, crafting a symphony of nature. Moss and tiny ferns nestle between the cups, further enhancing the display's organic beauty. Along a narrow garden path, a collection of old boots bursts with life. Each worn-out shoe, now a home for succulents, tells a different story through its scuffs and creases. The sturdy leather and faded fabric contrast with the vibrant greens of the plants, creating a striking juxtaposition of past and present. Arranged on the steps of a wooden ladder, the boots form a playful yet artistic display. Water droplets cling to the leaves, shimmering in the morning light, while tiny sprouts peek from the seams of the footwear, determined to grow. Overhead, an elegant chandelier bird bath dangles from an old oak tree, its crystals reflecting the golden sunlight. The glass bowls, once holders of candlelight, now cradle cool water for birds to drink and bathe in. As the wind stirs, the crystals send fragments of light dancing across the garden, a silent celebration of nature and art combined. The gentle drip of water from the edges provides a soothing background melody. Feathers flutter as sparrows and robins take turns dipping into the sparkling pools, their playful splashes adding life to the scene. Tucked between flower beds, an old typewriter finds itself transformed into a one-of-a-kind planter. Succulents emerge from between its keys, their thick leaves contrasting with a cold, black metal. The carriage return lever remains frozen in time, its function repurposed by nature. A tiny spider weaves a delicate web between the spacebar and shift key, embracing the machine's stillness. The faded letters on the keys whisper of stories once typed here, now replaced by the slow, silent poetry of growing plants. This fusion of industrial history and organic beauty sparks curiosity in all who pass by. Against a weathered wooden fence, a collection of window frames stands tall, repurposed into a plant wall. Their pastel-colored paint, gently chipped by time, adds a soft vintage touch. Air plants and ivy cling to the frames, filling the empty spaces with new life. As the sun filters through the openings, shadows of leaves dance on the wall behind them. A gentle breeze causes the vines to sway, lending movement to the otherwise still frames. It is a visual reminder that even the most static objects can become living, breathing parts of nature when given the chance. Just beyond, a tower of stacked tires bursts with floral abundance. Once discarded, the tires now serve as vessels for trailing petunias and bright marigolds. Painted in cheerful hues, they offer a striking contrast against the lush greenery of the garden. Bees hover over the blossoms, their tiny bodies dusted with pollen as they flit from flower to flower. The vertical structure not only maximizes space, but also adds depth and dimension to the landscape. Over time, the rubber softens under the sun, further integrating into the natural surroundings. Suspended from a tree branch, silverware wind chimes sing in a breeze. Forks, spoons, and knives, once used for meals shared with family, now produce a soft, melodic clinking. A colander serves as the base, allowing light to filter through its perforations, casting playful dots onto the ground below. As the wind picks up, the metal instruments create a tinkling tune, reminiscent of laughter around an old kitchen table. The polished surfaces catch the sunlight, glinting like tiny stars. Each gust of wind composes a new, unpredictable melody, never the same twice. Leaning against the garden shed, a vintage wooden ladder transforms into a plant library. Shelves, carefully attached to the rungs, hold rows of potted herbs and colorful flowers. Vintage books, their pages slightly curled with age, rest beside the greenery, creating a fusion of literature and nature. The scent of basil and rosemary lingers in the air, mingling with the musty fragrance of old pages. As the sun shifts throughout the day, the book spines take on a golden glow, while tiny tendrils of ivy begin to wind their way around the ladder's edges. Across the garden wall, a dazzling mosaic catches the sunlight, sending fragments of color dancing across the space. Made from broken CDs, the shimmering pieces reflect hues of purple, blue, and silver. Arranged in intricate patterns, the mosaic breathes new life into an otherwise plain surface, adding a touch of modern magic to the rustic setting. As the day progresses, the light shifts, casting ever-changing rainbows onto nearby leaves and flowers. A curious hummingbird pauses midair, drawn to the iridescent glow, its wings beating rapidly as it hovers near the luminous display. Hanging from an old wooden beam, watering cans take on a new role as a light feature. Tiny holes, drilled into their surfaces, create delicate constellations when illuminated from within. As night falls, the soft glow of solar-powered lights spills through the perforations, mimicking the effect of a gentle rainfall. The warm light sways with the breeze, casting intricate patterns onto the garden path below. Fireflies flicker in response, creating a mesmerizing interplay between natural and artificial light. The once forgotten watering cans now serve as lanterns, guiding the way through the moonlit garden. Along the patio, a row of paint cans, once used and discarded, finds a second life as an herb garden. Each can, freshly painted in bright, cheerful colors, bears the name of its resident plant in elegant script. Basil, thyme, mint, and cilantro thrive in their metal homes, their fragrant leaves releasing bursts of aroma as the wind passes through. The cans, neatly arranged on a wooden shelf, provide easy access to fresh ingredients for garden-to-table meals. Bees and butterflies linger nearby, drawn to the lush greenery, turning the herb garden into a tiny ecosystem of its own. A simple wooden pallet, repurposed into a living wall, stands tall in the garden's corner. Pockets of soil nestle between the slats, brimming with cascading ferns, bright marigolds, and delicate succulents. The vertical structure maximizes space, making it perfect for small gardens or balconies. A morning mist settles on the leaves, droplets clinging to their surfaces like tiny jewels. Over time, the wood takes on a weathered appearance, blending harmoniously with the surrounding foliage. The pallet, once a mere transport tool, now breathes with life, offering both function and beauty in equal measure. Nestled in a shady nook, an old wheelbarrow overflows with water, transformed into a miniature pond. Lily pads float lazily on the surface, their round leaves offering shelter to tiny frogs. A small fountain at the center sends ripples outward, creating a gentle trickling sound that soothes the senses. Goldfish dart between submerged plants, their scales flashing as they move through the cool water. The wheelbarrow, once a tool of labor, now invites moments of quiet reflection. Sunlight filters through the trees above, dappling the water with patterns of gold and green. A delicate spiral of keys sways gently in the breeze, suspended from a wire mounted on a wooden post. Once used to unlock doors, trunks, and hidden drawers, these keys now serve as a kinetic sculpture, responding to the wind's touch. Their metal bodies chime softly as they collide, a whisper of their former purpose. As the sun moves across the sky, their shadows shift on the ground below, creating an ever-changing pattern. The spiral, both artistic and symbolic, reminds visitors of the passage of time and the beauty of repurposing forgotten objects. Against a backdrop of ivy-covered walls, a row of old bed springs rises like a modern trellis. Their rusty coils, once supporting soft mattresses, now provide a sturdy frame for climbing roses and morning glories. Delicate tendrils weave through the spirals, anchoring themselves to the aged metal. As the plants grow, they intertwine with the springs, creating a fusion of industrial and organic elements. Bees buzz among the blossoms, their tiny bodies dusted with pollen. Over time, the rust deepens, lending an antique charm to the trellis, making it a seamless part of the garden's evolving beauty. On the garden wall, a collection of vintage china plates and mirrors forms an elegant mosaic. Floral patterns and delicate gold rims catch the sunlight, reflecting warmth into the space. Arranged in an artful pattern, the plates contrast beautifully against the rough brick backdrop. Some feature delicate cracks, their imperfections adding to the charm of the display. Between them, small mirrors reflect slivers of sky and greenery, creating a dynamic interplay of light. The plates, once reserved for special occasions, now grace the garden with their timeless beauty, merging nostalgia with contemporary artistry. Stacked in an artistic arrangement, metal toolboxes house a thriving collection of succulents. The sturdy, industrial containers contrast with the delicate, fleshy leaves of the plants they now shelter. Each layer adds depth to the display, creating a multi-tiered structure that blends ruggedness with nature's resilience. Over time, the succulents spill over the edges, softening the metal's hard lines. Dew collects on the smooth surfaces in the early morning, reflecting the first light of day. The toolboxes, once symbols of labor, now serve as vessels of life, proving that even the most utilitarian objects can hold beauty. Along the pergola, painted tin cans dangle like tiny lanterns, transformed into wind bells. Each can, punched with delicate patterns, holds a small metal clapper that sings with the wind's touch. Their melodies vary with the breeze, sometimes a soft murmur, other times a lively chorus. The vibrant colors of the cans add cheer to the space, swaying gently as the wind moves through. At night, fairy lights illuminate them from within, casting intricate shadows on the ground. The sound and sight together create a sensory experience, bringing warmth to the garden even in the quiet hours. Rising from a quiet corner, a bottle tree sculpture stands as a beacon of color and light. Vibrant glass bottles, carefully threaded onto sturdy branches, capture the sun's rays, casting jewel-toned reflections onto the surrounding plants. In the morning, dew collects inside them, refracting light into tiny rainbows. At dusk, the bottles glow in the fading sunlight, their hues deepening as the evening sets in. The tree, once bare, now holds a story within each bottle, a symbol of transformation and creative renewal. It stands as a testament to the endless possibilities of reimagined objects. A row of wooden chairs, stripped to their seats, now hosts flourishing floral arrangements. Wire baskets, snugly fitted where cushions once rested, overflow with trailing petunias, ivy, and sweet alyssum. The chairs, weathered by time, take on a sculptural quality, their curved backs and intricate carvings now framing bursts of color. Arranged in a quiet garden nook, they offer a sense of nostalgia and whimsy. Each plant spills over the edges, softening the rigid structure of the chairs, blending them seamlessly into the surrounding greenery. The once empty seats now overflow with life. A once-forgotten drum kit finds new rhythm as a cascading fountain. Cymbals, carefully positioned, guide the water's flow, creating a soft, metallic trickling sound. The drum shells, sealed and stacked, allow water to pool and spill over their edges, mimicking the steady beat of rainfall. Sunlight dances on the surface, creating a shimmering play of light. Birds dip their beaks into the water, adding life to the rhythmic composition. The fountain, a tribute to both music and nature, breathes new energy into the garden, a reminder that beauty can be found in unexpected places. Standing tall against the garden's edge, a series of vintage shutters forms a charming privacy screen. Painted in soft, muted tones, they provide a rustic yet elegant backdrop. Small shelves, affixed to their slats, hold potted plants and trailing vines, adding layers of texture and color. The shutters, once fixtures of old homes, now create a secluded retreat within the garden. As the wind stirs the vines, they dance lightly against the aged wood, weaving movement into the stillness. This simple yet stunning transformation offers both beauty and function, proving that history can always be rewritten.